The White House hasn't been forthcoming on what weapons will be sent to the Syrian rebels, but it did make clear again yesterday that a no-fly zone is a no-go. Let's get more from Chief White House Correspondent Major Garret in Washington. Good morning, Major.
Good morning.
Major, why won't the White House specify the types of military equipment it wants to send to Syria?
Because it hasn't decided all the weapons it's going to send, and it's a secret. The CIA will be responsible primarily, with some help from U.S. Marines stationed in Jordan, to move those weapons to the Supreme Military Council, the one opposition umbrella group the United States has decided is capable enough of receiving those weapons, but it's a secret. They haven't come up with a list, and they don't want to give out a full inventory, because if they do, the Syrians will have a better chance of intercepting those weapons, which they clearly want to do.
So, Major, right now we know it's a no-fly zone. Is there a chance that could change?
There is a chance it could change. There are some F-16s in Jordan right now involved in military exercises. They could stay behind if the president makes a different decision. But right now, the word from the White House is a no-fly zone won't help, because much of this fighting is block to block in an urban environment. And a no-fly zone, the White House says, doesn't really help there. Plus, it would require direct attacks on Syrian anti-aircraft positions and possibly airplanes and airports. And the White House is not in a mood right now to have that kind of direct military conflict with the Syrian regime.
Major, Senator John McCain is pushing for heavy weaponry. What do you think the chances of that are?
Well, let's look at this from a logistical and practical point of view. To get heavy weaponry and tanks, trucks, and other things like that, you need supply lines, much bigger and broader supply lines than currently exist. Or you need to take control of airports and land big supply aircraft from the United States to deliver them. Neither of those things exist, and until they do, the question of heavy weaponry is simply off the table.
Major, there's been a lot of talk about Russia. So what exactly is the president's strategy for getting Russia on board at this point?
Well, look, it's very much of a cat and mouse game. On the public, the president and the White House say we want to resolve this diplomatically. The Syrians can come to this peace conference in Geneva next month or later if it occurs later. That's the diplomatic, easy, good cop side of it. The bad cop side of it is, look, we're going to arm the rebels. We do have those F-16s there. There are some Marines in Jordan. We can move material and men into Jordan and possibly Turkey to make this a more direct U.S.-Russia conflict if you want to, Vladimir Putin. Do you really want to go down that road? So on both sides, the good cop with diplomacy, the bad cop with moving more military means closer to the conflict, the president is trying to send two signals: persuasion, but also power, to try to get Russia to change its mind.
Major, the president's been under pressure for a long time to do something with regard to Syria. Why announce this now, do you think?
A couple of reasons, and Charlie's piece really teed it up very nicely. This G8 summit is going to be the only time this summer to get all the main European leaders and the Russians in one place to sort of hash this out and have a pretty strong and frank conversation about what to do next in Syria. And the chemical weapons issue does put the question of international law, international behavior front and center before all those leaders. And it gives the United States a talking point to say to the Russians, look, something has happened and a red line has been crossed. What are you going to do about it? And within the context, of this G8 summit, there's more bodies there, more nations, more representatives, more talking about next steps. And there's never been a better chance to push this issue forward than now.
Major Garret at the White House. Thank you, Major.
You got it.